Hey guys, I just want to share a story with you real quick. 3 years ago today, I lost my mother. And one of the great things that suck about driving a truck, that I was in Denver, Colorado, and we live in Tennessee. Yeah, it was quite the journey. She just had her birthday on June the 30th, and today is August the 2nd. And I had the opportunity to take this long trip to Denver and Salt Lake City, and I've not had a long trip like that in a long time. Paid well, and I'm the one that was usually doing the errands for my mom, taking her doctors, and all that stuff. But I asked her about it. I said, "Mom, you be all right if I did this run?" She said, "Yeah." And I guess I was a little excited about it, and so I didn't even see her on her birthday. I saw her, the last time I saw my mom was on my daughter's birthday, which would have been the 27th, so that would be the last time I saw her. I talked to her on the phone quite a bit, as I always do. But you're never ready. I don't care if you're just never ready. My mom just turned 84. And we had I had planned to go see her on her birthday, but I had some running around to do. I had to get my DOT physical done. I went to work, dropped the paperwork off, and they called me when I was halfway over to her house and said, "Hey, we need you to come back and sign the paperwork." And so I went back and signed the paperwork and called my mom and said, "Hey, I'm trying to come over there and see you." And she said, "Well, that's okay," that she was getting tired, and that she'd had several visitors for the day, and the neighbor had three girls, I think, and it wore her out. And I said, "Well, I want to come and see you." And she said, "No, that's okay." So I didn't go see her. So I left and got to the next morning. I left on the 31st. I got to I was close to St. Louis, I guess, when I stopped. And I called my mom like 3 or 4 times a day, just checking in on her. And I got into Missouri. Was gonna call her and say how excited. Yeah, I'm in Missouri. I'm passing the St. Louis Arch, and never got a hold of her. Well, I went across the whole state of Missouri before I found out what was going on. I finally called a neighbor. The neighbor said they took her to the emergency room. And I'm like, "Why didn't she tell me?" "Well, she didn't want you to worry because you were excited about your trip." I said, "Well, I was already worried when she didn't answer the phone. I have a thing. I call her 3 times within reason. Not one right after. I'll call her, wait a few minutes, call her, wait a few minutes, call her again, wait a few minutes. If I don't hear from her, I will call the neighbor." And I don't know why I waited so long to drive across Missouri, but I was like, she's outside piddling or something. You don't think that way. Anyway, they looked her over, sent her home, and she had a pacemaker, so I thought that was part of it. And so when I called her on the today, on the 2nd, and I was kind of fussing at her, I said, "Let me call, I'll get you an appointment, we'll get you to the doctor." And she said, "They can't help me. There's nothing they can do." She goes, I think she knew. I really do. I think she knew. And I said, "Well, I'll call," and I was kind of miffed, so we hung up. And I was going to call the doctor's office. And I get a phone call from my cousin that said they just took my mom to the hospital in an ambulance with barely a pulse. I'm like, okay. She had a pulse, so lot of praying. And when I got to where I was supposed to deliver there near Denver, he called me back and told me she was gone. Just like that. Everybody just needs to be sure, if you got loved ones, love them, hug them, squeeze them, because you don't know when. It's been a difficult time. Like I said, you know, my mom is all I've known since I was 14. I lost my dad when I was 14, and so mom was it, you know. I didn't have a lot of other, I didn't have but one grandparent, which was my mom's mother, and she passed away, I don't know, 2001, 2002. So mom's been it, you know. She's been my solid family member for, besides my kids, of course. But just be sure and you get a chance to see your parents, go see them. Don't care what relation you need to see them, or talk to them on the phone. It's just makes you rethink this career sometimes, because it took me, I don't know how long, because I had to go on to Salt Lake City because we're not a mega carrier, so we don't have drivers in the area that could take the load. So I took the load, got it delivered in St. Louis, or Salt Lake City. There was a Love's right next to the airport. I was able to park the truck there and get a flight home, but it had a 14-hour layover in Denver. And that was a killer. That was just a killer. My brother's calling me. He's beside himself because he doesn't deal with tragedy like most, and he didn't want to deal with it. He was trying to get me to do it, and I said, I can't. I'm not there. You know. I said, whatever you pick out, send me a picture. We'll, you know. And I said, you know, he did a fabulous job on it. And I don't know what he was worried about, but his wife at the time helped him, I guess. But all I can say, and then I lost him 8 months later. So it was rough. So just love your family, man. Just love your family. Just love your family. Thought I'd share that story with you guys. It's been a tough day. So sometimes it helps to talk about it. Talk to you guys later. Bye.